Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's so serious. Where my girls at? We link up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
On the radio. Here we go. Here we go. We're back. We're back on Friday. Yes, yes, yes. It's going down. It's the girlfriends. Welcome to the Force of Friendship with Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria. Well, we made it another week. That deserves a round of applause, Jalen. A week in. Yes, yes, yes. We're so excited to be with you here Monday through Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. the Superstation, the oldest African-American radio station in the state of Michigan. I mean, we are so grateful to partner with 910. So it's the girlfriends, 30 years of friendship. Sometimes we're messy, sometimes we're gossipy, sometimes we're pretty, sometimes we're hazy, sometimes we're lazy, sometimes we're, give me some more words, audience. I don't know what we are, but we are always here. We try to put a smile on your face. All that. What is it, Katrina? I said all that, but you said sometimes we're messy. That's the only part I would say all the time. Right before the show, I was like, I need 5 minutes of mess. Give me 5 minutes of mess. She just gave me 5 minutes of mess before the show. Yeah, and you know what? These girls are the good kind of mess because, I mean, where my girls at, Casey, and we're so glad you're with us. I mean, you are always with us, and we're always glad to see you here. And so we got some big things in store. Oh my goodness, we've got a relationship seminar coming up, relationship webinar, I guess that's what you call it. But I mean, tune into the Force of Friendship, www.theforceoffriendship.com. All kind of registration information is going to be there. After the first of the year, we're going to be going radio only. Sometimes we'll pop in with video. But when I tell you we're taking this thing to another level, we're going to start doing some live events Hey, Alicia Maxie Green, my girlfriend out of New York, New Jersey. Yes, yes, yes. We worked many years ago together at the Boston Globe. And so this is just a place where we reconnect. I mean, from new friends, old friends. My family loves to tune in. So we're glad that we have this voice. Today is a day, you guys. We are sending condolences to our girlfriend, Chrisette Ellis. She lost her mom-in-law today. Bishop Charles Ellis's mother, Mother Wilma Ruth Bardwell Ellis Johnson. Is that, yeah, Ellis Johnson. And when I tell you, beautiful, classy, inside and out, what a woman, what a beautiful life. She will be deeply missed, deeply missed. And so to Chrisette and her entire family, we are sending our deepest sympathy. We are. We know she was clearly the matriarch of the family, and Bishop loved his mama. I talked to Chrisette earlier today, and she said one thing about that man: he loved his mama, and he certainly did. He certainly did, and I know that will be a huge, deep void to be filled. Well, girlfriends, we're talking Brittney Griner. Welcome home, Brittney. She landed on U.S. soil in the wee hours of the morning. And honestly, I just held my breath until I knew she was on U.S. soil, because anything could have happened during that transition. And I did not do a deep sigh of relief until I knew she landed here safely. And so we're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about the swap. We're going to talk about lots that are surrounded the swap. You're coughing and you look warm. You got a vest on, Katrina, in sunny California. Are you in Chicago or California? Where are you? Okay, where are you? Do you even know?
Boy. I'm in California. We're gonna get some rain. Which is good. We need it. You know, I'm just a little chilly up here. And if you saw, Anthony said, "Where'd you get those slippers from?" I have on my big rabbit.
Bigger than you? Bigger than you?
You know the big ones. I got the big ones on. But it's not cold, but it's, you know, it's chilly. And I'm the one who doesn't like the heat turn all the way up, you know. Telling you, I'm gonna tell you the real deal. I paid the PG&E bill, that's Pacific Gas and Electric up in this joint, and when I saw that bill, I was like, turn it down, get a coat. I'm a daddy. I am like, too many zeros after that thing. I have turned it down to the point that today I am right now texting with Brian with solar, and I'm like, how fast can you come out to my house? Because honestly, what I have paid for electricity in the past 3 months is why I got this on. It's not cold in here, but we're going to keep it between 68 and 72. If that thing goes 73, 74, turn it down.
I couldn't live with you. That's one bill I'm going to have to pay.
How long you want?
And in Chicago, we have it where we can turn it all the way down. Anthony will lower that bad boy to 50 degrees when we ain't in Chicago. It's like when the people come and go out of the house, I know they walk in there and they be like, it's cold in here. But as soon as we land tonight, I'm gonna be cranking all the way up, and he's like, yeah. He's like, crank it up. So, yeah, it's a little chilly. I do want to say this to the Facebook audience and our YouTube audience. We are going to be going radio only. We are primarily a radio show, and there will be times that we give you a peek in. But make sure you go to the forceoffriendship.com, like Sabrina said, because that's how you can find all the ways you can listen through the app. You can listen through iHeart. You can listen even on the 910 a.m. Facebook page. You can listen, but you'll want to be over there and stay tuned and make sure you're on our email list. All of that is so important because we got stuff for you. Okay, we got a lot of stuff for you. So, Sabrina, Brittney, we're gonna talk about it today. Gloria, what's happening?
Yes. It's all going down here in the DMV. I'm excited to be here. We got issues. I'm excited to lean in. I also want to send my condolences to Chris and her family. And, you know, as girlfriends, we get all the texts and we get the feeling and we know each other's family and we know our heart and we see Chuck. So we just really feel that for sure. I sure thought when I looked at this screen, I was like, Katrina looked like she is cold, but y'all would freeze up in here if you live with Ken Banks. He likes it at 68 and 66.
Okay, we're gonna start a GoFundMe. We're gonna start a GoFundMe for her electricity. Okay.
I tell you, I am with you, Katrina. I see that bill, I'm like, OMG, but his mama likes it hot over there in the office. So I go from 66 over here at the house to 75 over there in the office. I'd be like this over in the office, like, oh my goodness.
75.
Crazy. Yeah. So, we that's another show, the heat and how we like it and all that kind of stuff. But I'm good. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. I'm ready for the energy. I'm ready for the celebration. I'm ready. So much going on. You know what? This is the thing I noticed. Now everybody's talking about how so much is going on. It's not just the people that you talk with. It's people on TV. I mean, it's people at the hairdresser today. Everybody's saying there's so much going on. I think there's a thickness of a lot going on, just a thickness of a lot going on. So I'm ready to go at it. Sabrina.
Excellent. So we are all very thrilled that Brittney has made it home. It's been 10 long months. You can only imagine what it's been like. I mean, it's just been hell, right? Can you imagine?
Right.
Hell on earth over in Russia. And they said that prison system that she was in ain't nothing nice. I mean, basically, you guys, they said the homecoming of the American basketball star puts an end to a 10-month ordeal in which she became a bargaining chip between Moscow and Washington. Let's just stop it right there. How she became a bargaining chip. Basically, They kidnapped this girl. Right. I mean, it's just a straight up kidnap because she had something, a vape. And I was telling my kids about that today. And they're like, a vape? I mean, you go to jail over there for a vape pipe? And I mean, it's illegal over there, but it was all a setup, I believe.
It was straight up kidnap.
The trade ended 10 months of captivity for Miss Griner, whose conviction on drug smuggling charges became entangled in Russia's deteriorating relations with the United States since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. The American basketball star landed at the U.S. Army's Joint Base San Antonio, Fort Sam Houston, and was then taken to the Brooke Army Medical Center. So we'll talk about that the next block. Like when you come back, they have to give her a medical clearance. They check her out. They said she has to be reacclimated to life because over there she had no choices whatsoever. And your brain is like, they said she was probably sleeping on the floor because she's so tall. She didn't fit those little beds. And so she was probably sleeping on the floor. And so she has to get used to sleeping on a bed. And so, okay, the news said CBD oil. So this is real, you guys. I just want to know, do they just look out for U.S. celebrities or big names to come to the airport who they could possibly try? How does all that work? Do you guys know?
Let me tell you something. I heard someone yesterday break it down. They said she was intentional because she's Black. She said because the fact that she's Black was going to cause racial tension to escalate in the U.S., that Putin looked at all this, that she was a superstar, and that was going to cause a problem. That the other guy that's over there, Mr. White, who's over there, he doesn't have that same shininess to it in the U.S., and so it was all about the detention that was going on and the tension that was going on in the U.S. They said there were several things that she touched that would spark a conversation that would put Biden in a bad light, and that's why they went after her, and that's why it was such a swap. It was a very interesting view as to why she was the one that was selected.
Interesting. Of course, there's so much controversy because Whelan was left and they traded for Brittney. And people are saying, you're going to take a celebrity over a Marine, U.S. Marine. He's been over there far longer. His sentencing was far greater. Why was she the chosen one? Biden said that it was not even negotiable. It wasn't even a choice. It was definitely not 2 for 1. It was going to be one-on-one, and it was the one. It wasn't like it was a choice. Now
that's more control on their part.
I looked up who they traded when we come back from the break. When you this thing says 7 craziest facts about Victor Boot. I mean, when you see who she was traded for, it's like
Right.
it's so uneven, you know. I mean, just absolutely crazy. So
We'll talk about that because, of course, they say that it's just so much controversy because the trade was so uneven. But even the Whelan family said, "Bring her home. One is better than none." So much to talk about. We'll be right back. We'll be back. It's the Force of Friendship, 9 a.m. the Superstation with Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria. And so we were talking about the return home of Brittney Griner. 10 months away. The swap was made. There's so much controversy about the swap. There was a statement by Brittney's family that basically said, we want Paul Whelan home. We are praying for the family. We're in support of getting him home sooner than later. And Biden was very open in saying, we are not stopping here. We are working to bring him home. And so, girlfriends, what do you think about the swap? What are your thoughts?
I mean, a lot happening behind the scenes. I mean, I don't even know what that looks like and how you do that, especially in this particular climate and with all that's taking place, what they asked for. It's just not fair negotiation, because we only know the surface. So, there's just so much more behind it. But I will tell you, it says 7 of the craziest facts about Victor Bout, and I didn't realize he was. So she had less than a gram of hashish oil, and was sentenced to
Right.
9 years in a penal colony, and it was known as the Merchant of Death, notorious
Right.
gun trafficker, sentenced to 25 years. But these are just, it says a couple things about him. He got into the business selling arms to the Taliban's enemies. Okay. How is this even? The dude can read 15 languages, so he's very connected. He was known as the McDonald's of arms trafficking. That's how much arms he trafficked. He
Woo!
evaded capture for years by the CEA. The U.S. finally nabbed him in an elaborate sting. His lawyer once represented other Al Qaeda members. So, who he's connected to, there was a movie, The Lord of War, that was purportedly written about his life. But to have him out, as much as I'm grateful for her being out, to have him out with who he's connected to and what he does, I mean, I saw his wife embrace him, or I guess it was his wife, whoever it was. Family is family. People are always grateful, but I'm like, ooh, I mean, what does that mean that he is out of prison?
One of the things that I've heard very clearly is it wasn't a choice. Biden didn't have a choice. They said you can have her for him, and that's all that it is. There's no 2-for-1. There's no this or that, and it's not any of the other people you have from Russia. We want him if you want her. Then I heard that the other side was that this has been the first exchange since the Cold War. And so that it was an extremely contentious, it wasn't even a negotiation. It was an agreement on what they would be willing to talk to him about, because Biden wanted to get them out and Putin wanted that person. And he didn't care about the fact that, and another big piece of this they said was because of the way Putin would look in Russia, because he's losing the attention of the Russian people because so many Russians are dying in the war. It's a very weaved situation, because it is obvious that the negotiation is not equal.
Right. So the person says that they will continue to fight to bring Whelan home. And that has to be we got to keep the pressure. We want him home. I mean, you can only imagine his family and how they're feeling. And
And more political divide over here because
more
of that.
political divide. I mean, you guys, it's just sickening to read. I mean, you have to be a sick person in the U.S. to be mad Brittney's home, right?
Right.
But so much rhetoric out there where they're saying that, why was it so important to bring her home? I mean, just the nastiness of it all. Because she's Black, because she's a woman, because she's gay. I mean, all of those things.
Right.
For all of those people who are sick out there saying that, keep her over in Russia. It's a sick society. It's a sick society we live in. For you to be a U.S. citizen and even articulate that or have those thoughts or even be able to write those writings on social media, we got issues, and I don't know how we get better, stronger from this, but it's really disgusting. Very disgusting. Did you guys know the penal system that she came from? I mean, I was reading about those conditions.
What did it say?
And oh my, listen to this.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Okay, let me go to my notes here. This is what she likely faced in this situation. It's let me put my glasses on. Oh my. It says she likely entered a system of isolation, grueling labor, and psychological torment.
Wow.
When she was transferred to the penal colony, the successor to infamous Russian gulag, maybe I'm not pronouncing that right, former prisoners and advocates said that this is the worst of the worst place that any prisoner can be. It's 200 miles east of Moscow. Human rights violations are a regular feature of many of these places. Human rights groups and others who have maintained regular contact with prisoners in Russia say that the WNBA star is a gay Black woman who could have added unknown variables to the penal system that is known to remote and harrowing, and could have caused her safety to be in question. The conditions in prisons and detention centers vary, but most are harsh and life-threatening. A 2021 State Department report on Russian human rights abuses said overcrowding, abuse by guards and inmates, limited access to health care, food shortages, and inadequate sanitation were common in these penal colonies. The report also notes physical and sexual abuse, I said that, by prison guards is systemic. That torture of prisoners is pervasive, at times resulting in death or suicide.
Yeah, I remember a couple of times that I remember when it was reported, take that environment just unbelievable. I don't even know if she will be able to physically, or if it's even valuable for her to physically describe to her family what she really endured. That might not be, it might be something she just doesn't even want to repeat. When you hear people that were in wars and stuff that just take things to their grave and never even talk about it anymore. So
they said it's going to take lots of therapy, lots of rehab, just to bring her to a baseline of open communication, of trust, of going over, rehashing what this 10 months has been for her.
Did you hear that she had to cut her locks off?
Go from anybody who's been jailed, when you go from where to eat, when to eat, turn off the lights, to complete freedom, it takes a while if you've been in there a while, right?
Yeah. Did you guys hear that she had to have her locks cut off?
Yeah.
I was betting that.
They said that because of the coldness, that it was going to affect her hair. And I have a niece who grows locks, like long locks, and then she cuts them off and she grows them long again. And that is a very, very, very deep experience, to grow them to that length, to have them that vested, and then to have them cut off without you being in control. That's another form of abuse, that you cut someone's hair. It's different than a regular haircut.
For sure. I mean, when you mess with that hair, that locks are personal. And when she took a shower, it's so cold in Russia. The water's so cold. She's in freezing temperatures. Her locks would freeze. Imagine that. Her locks would freeze when they got wet. And so it was her choice, they said. We don't know how true it is, but they said it was her choice because she was getting sick. She had an upper respiratory infection just a few weeks ago. Because you're just freezing cold when she got out the shower. So just the conditions that nobody should have lived in.
And how good of shape she was in going in. Someone who wasn't in as good a shape as her may not have even lived through that environment. I mean, but yeah, Sabrina, when you talk about her being 6'9", sleeping on the floor, period, but sleeping on the floor in the freezing cold, I mean, I just don't know how long you could physically live in that manner. It's unfathomable. Absolutely unfathomable.
Yeah. So my other question was, and I don't know this, how long? I mean, I guess she's been. I don't even know if her wife has been able to see her at this point. I mean, surely. Well, I know that they had to test her and make sure that she was okay, but I wonder if she's been reunited. Probably not. Do you guys think she's been reunited?
I had heard that she
I
was
don't
going
know.
to be
I
isolated.
can't
but-
imagine they're keeping her away that long. I
Mhm,
would think she'd at least be able to see her wife.
mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, you guys, we're going to talk about our family when we get back. We're going to talk about it all. 9 a.m. the station. We got issues with the force of friendship. We'll be right back. We're back. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. It's Sabrina, Katrina, Chrisette, and Gloria. We got issues Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every day of the week, you guys. We are talking about it all, y'all. We talk little, we talk big, we talk happy, we talk sad. We talk it all day long, on air, off air. You join these girlfriends, you better know her mouth is moving. Her mouth is moving. So we're grateful for this platform. So we're talking Brittney being home, WNBA star. My goodness, you guys, will she ever play basketball again? What do you guys think?
Will she ever travel internationally anywhere? Will she ever want to leave the country? Period. Just, to go to London, to go to anywhere. I mean, anywhere you need a passport, will she want to do that? It's going to be interesting.
I mean, today I would say no. You know, I know time heals all things most of the time, but I can't imagine getting on a plane, and definitely not Russia.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. So, Gloria, you did look it up, and she has seen her wife. They have been reunited.
They have been reunited. They don't have a lot of pictures of her being reunited, but she has been with her wife today. It happened today, and it was confirmed by the White House that she's been with her
Okay.
wife. But I don't know much more other than that. Yeah.
I could just imagine, you know. Go ahead, Gloria.
No, good.
I could just imagine, you know, I mean, this is a matter of national security, of how they. I know that she doesn't land, and then they just start asking her all these questions. But I could just imagine. I mean, with all that is going on with Russia, and she's been in that environment. I mean,
yeah,
there is information that they are going to want to know as part of this negotiation. And so, just what does that look like? Because, you know, all she wants to do, I'm sure, is not talk about anything, but that's just going to be important. And, you know, with him being an arms dealer, that's what Putin needs more than anything right now, is some more arms. So, I mean, the whole thing is interesting. Russian state television mocks the U.S. for the prisoner trade, and Mike Pence came out and blasted Biden for an ill-advised trade. You know, a lot of people just coming out talking about the trade. And I did want to read Kimberly Ann's comment. She said, so it doesn't matter that she broke the law willingly. We just letting that slide. And, you know, I replied with less than a gram of however you say it, harshest oil. You know, I mean, clearly, I can't imagine anyone saying that meets the conditions. Was she intentionally and willingly trying to break the law?
She had legal, medical representation for what she took over there. And what she took over there, they said it was illegal because it fit the description of what they wanted to go down. So they found something that she was legally able to carry, said that it was wrong, and that's what they. And if you listen to many of the commentators and listen to some of the people, like they had Richardson on, he said that is like normal. They put stuff on you. They tell you that you have bullets. They tell you you have a gun. They tell you by the time it gets to the news and everything, you don't know what you walked in there with because they set you up. She was set up in so many ways. Another thing that one of the other readers talked about, which was pretty obvious, is because she was famous in Russia, it lifted up Putin to say that their superstar, did something wrong and that they're going to annihilate her for something so ridiculously small. So she had the medical, and her lawyer said she had the medical ability to carry that stuff. And then when they decide that they don't want it in there, that it's illegal for their terms, the Kremlin has often done that. So
yeah, my thing is, no, we're not letting anything slide, but let the time match the crime. Let the time match the crime. And so when you think about a vape, CBD oil in another country, when they want you, they can get you. They can hang their hat onto it. So, and if she thought that was wrong, do you think she would have done that? I mean, if she thought that was illegal,
absolutely
I don't think so.
When we came through, when I flew into Chicago the other day from Jamaica, we landed, and when we came through TSA, I turned and there was a box that said amnesty box for people that are caught traveling with weed. There's a amnesty, you can release it legally, because even though you can legally have it in one state, legally have it in another state, it's a federal crime to be able to travel across state lines or whatever. So I thought that was very interesting, right? So basically, if you're found with it, they're giving you an opportunity to just willingly release it. I looked at Anthony and said, if you think that whole box is getting thrown away, another thing is happening. But I just thought that was interesting right here in the country. I mean, there's clearly other ways that could have could have happened. Kimberly says illegal is illegal. There's tons of crimes that people get over sentenced for, especially people of color. That's why you don't risk being in those predicaments. She knew better. Um, she knew she's been playing overseas for years. So, we'd love for you to call in, Kimberly, and give us your piece. I'm going to give you one more thing as an example. I mean, just with water, I know we can't travel with water. How many times is it still in my purse when I go through? I'm like
Correct.
a seasoned traveler. I know this. The latest thing that's happened for us now with my natural hair is my hair picks. When Anthony was in Germany, his pick now, they will not let us travel with the pick. So I ordered another pick, and then it got confiscated in Jamaica, and then another one got confiscated someplace else. So now I got to remember to take my hair pick out of my purse and make sure and put it someplace else. It is easy to forget that you have something, especially that small.
Hopefully our caller is still there, and then I want to go to Dorothy's comment. Caller, are you still there? Thank you for calling 19 AM the Super Station.
Yes, I'm here. This is Super Rashida. How's everybody doing?
Good, Super Rashida.
Yep. Can I get a roll call? How many people are in studio? How many people are there, and what's your names?
Sabrina, Katrina, Gloria.
Okay, Sabrina. Are you the Dr. Sabrina?
No.
Okay. All right. Sabrina, and Gloria. Okay. Now, my point, as far as the U.S. and the young lady that was the basketball athlete that was being held illegally, the U.S. is being stingy. Let's get this straight. Biden is being very stingy. Just stop it. If I was advising Biden, this is what you do for the other guy that's over there. I'm quite sure there are like 1,000 other Russians that are being held. He can negotiate this properly. Now, for anybody that said, well, she should have been released for him, you tell them other people, look, we got other Russians that we can negotiate to get that other individual out. Now, that gentleman is there because his crime was worse than according to the Russians. His crime was much worse because it was espionage, spying on their little weirdo government, spying on their government and their little secrets or whatever. So they take that very extremely even more serious. Therefore, Biden should have said, look at here. He's taking his own sweet time. I just said, look at here. I'll give you maybe 10 other people or 5 other people just so we can get you back. You know what I'm saying? So we can get that gentleman back. But here's the thing. All those people that we are releasing over to Russia, they don't get caught again. They're going to do something stupid. That other individual, whatever his name is, the angel of stupidity, that clown that they just sent back over to Russia, he's going to get caught up again with some other country or the United States of America. So he's going to get his back again because he's going to be up to his antics and he's going to get dealt with one way or the other, because individuals like that, they don't learn their lessons. You know what I'm saying? These evil bad guys. But again, if you America, Joe Biden, stop being stingy, bro. Give them a little something extra, and maybe even lift a couple of sanctions for right now. Lift a couple of sanctions. Just get that guy back over here, because Russia is not playing fairly. Of course, they're not playing with the full deck. That will be Putin. But I also do believe too as well, the Russian people are getting really, really fed up with Putin, but they're taking their own sweet time. They got to get that man out of power. And I do believe they had some influence. The women over there may have had some influence with getting her back home as well. So Putin, one way or the other, the rest of the people is going to deal with him, but they're taking their own sweet time. But in the meantime, again, Biden needs to, don't be stingy, Biden. You can do whatever you got to do to get that Marine back over here. So that's pretty much my comment.
Well, thank you for calling. Thank you to the show. Thank you so much for coming in. Well, you guys, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know if Biden offered. It seemed like Russia only said 1 for 1. Even if you offered 10, they weren't accepting that. That's what we're hearing, but we don't know. So I hear you, my friend, saying Biden's being stingy. I mean, doggone it, if it's that simple to offer up more to get him home, I would hope that we could do that. But this one, yeah, for what we gave up over
because
here,
it's clear that Biden didn't want to give this. Biden wouldn't have wanted to give this particular prison back. It took us forever to get that prisoner. So it wasn't like he was like, let me see which one of the prisoners. They said that one for this one, and I'm not talking to you about nothing else. And they said that went on for months.
Yeah. That's the music playing, you guys. We got to pay some bills. Stay with us. We got another block, another 10, 12 minutes. We will hear from you. Call us 313-778-7600. We're talking Welcome Home, Brittney. Let's bring Wheeling home. We'll be right back. We're back. Join the conversation. Yes. We're talking Welcome Home, Brittney Griner. What's next for her? We know right now she's in San Antonio, Texas, getting checked out, getting medically evaluated, getting clearance. There'll be some rehab, not sure how long she'll be there. And then she'll be going home to Arizona, where she is a resident. I believe she's in Phoenix. Yeah, she's in Phoenix. And be greeted with the freedoms that she once enjoyed after spending 10 months imprisoned at a Russian penal colony. She's 32 years old. She's married to another woman. And she said that, I understand that they just want time. There'll probably be a lot of quiet time. She has to get reacclimated to life as she once knew it. We don't know if she'll go back to basketball. I mean, can you imagine somebody who worked out every day as a WNBA superstar, who had none of that kind of physical activity for 10 months? What it's going to take to get her body back mentally, what that's going to look like. What do you guys think? What do you think she'll do?
I was
You
just
know,
gonna say I hope the WNBA will handle her with the same level of care that the NBA would have handled NBA star. I hope that, because there would be, her contract would probably still be handled, or I mean there just would be, I just hope it's treated fairly.
you guys, they did an interview with the commissioner of the WNBA, and it's amazing how low those players get paid. Like, she makes $77,000 a year playing for the WNBA, and that's why she goes over to Russia to increase her income so much more. And that the sponsors, they said something like 5% of sponsors' money goes to women athletes, although women athletes make up 44% of all athletes in the United States. And that, 47% of the people that follow football are women. So it's quite interesting how there's such a disparity, which causes them to go play internationally in order to make up their money. I don't know what she's going to do. I just can't imagine someone loving that game as much as she's loved it. It could be the thing, on a positive note, it could be the positive thing that brings her back. When she doesn't want to do anything else, maybe she wants to get out on the court. I don't know if she wants to travel internationally, but the physical, being with her friends and doing what she's always loved to do so passionately could be a way back to her normalcy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. The state of Russia, you guys know we wrestle, and we've got the World Cup coming up for wrestlers, and the latest competitions, Russians have not even been able to compete because of the politics and all going on. They're some of the best in the sport. In wrestling, Russians are the best. And for them to be pulled out of the competition and not be able to participate right now because of the politics, it is just devastating.
Is that what's going on in Tulsa, or is it sooner?
No. This is sooner. This is like the elite level, like Olympian level, not college level. This is our pro athletes on the
World
Olympic level side. World championships.
When is it,
Yeah. It's this weekend. The World
Cup
for wrestling is this weekend. Yeah. Yes.
Wow, Sabrina.
Yeah. And usually our guys in the US, we train for the Russians. They're our number one competition. And so when they pull out, it just feels different. The competition feels different. The tournament is different. Yeah. The anticipation is different. And quite honestly, when we've had to compete without the Russians in the competition, Kenny says that when you win, you're grateful for the win, but it's different when the Russians are not competing.
Right. Where is it going to be held?
And to think about those athletes.
Gloria, maybe New York. I'm not real sure. Maybe New York.
Yeah. I just wonder where in the world it was going to be held. And I agree with you, Katrina. All those athletes have to pay the political price for something that, it's so sad. It's so sad when you think about the price they pay.
Yeah.
But today when they were showing the pictures.
Did I hear something about
Ukraine?
Did I hear something about other athletes pulling out of playing in Russia, other female athletes, or did I hear something about that there were others that said they weren't going to be going into Russia to play? I thought I heard that on the interviews. It's
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, there's right now, no U.S. athletes are going into Russia. No way. No way. Yeah. No way.
I mean, none of us would want a family member who played any sport to be going over there, because, it could just be any crime.
They're trying to get all Americans out of Russia, period. They don't want nobody over there. And, as we go, everybody else goes. So they're pulling out a lot of stuff out of Russia. I don't understand him. I don't understand him at all. I just don't.
Yeah.
Today
do you guys think that Biden was Was this a feather in Biden's cap? Was this for him politically to bring Brittney home? Of course, the Republicans have a lot to say about it, but what do you guys think this does for the president politically to be able to bring her home?
One of the things they said was on the world stage, for him to be able to do this, given the lack of diplomacy with Russia, that it was a really big deal, that we don't understand it, but for him to be able to even get Putin to have a conversation with him about anything, it was a very big deal. So that left the door open for other things to be talked about. So that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I heard, people talking about the importance of Black women, what it, looks like. I mean, clearly we want both of them home, and I'm sure that there have to be other American prisoners. He can't be the only one who is there. But to say that it was wrong to take her instead of him, we want both of them. I mean, that's the answer. That is the answer. I can't imagine. They said that his approval rating, I can't remember which type of approval rating, but they said it was a bump. I mean, that, some people think he might be underestimating him. So, and to hear the care, just what I heard, that before this happened, someone went and visited Paul Whelan's house and talked to his family and how that took place, how that news was delivered. Right. I mean, there's just no right way to do that, but they didn't just find out about it on the news, so yeah. I mean,
yeah. Did you guys catch Trevor Noah's send off? Trevor Noah signed off on the Daily Show, and his tribute to Black women was beautiful. I mean, you got to go back and YouTube his last sign off for the show. Been there 7 years. He said basically, Black women, I want to just thank the Black women who helped shape me, and that this world would be different. I mean, he was just, it was beautiful, you guys. It just beautiful.
I'm going to watch it.
I thanked him. You got to go watch it. But to give tribute on his last day was meaningful. Mm-hmm. He said, Black women, basically, we carry so much, we cure so much. And so my sisters, continue to do what you do. I mean, we do carry a big load. God never gives us more than we can handle. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Ciao.
Bye-bye.